All right, hello everyone. I apologize about not being on campus today, but as mentioned in the email, I am going to go through the first half of chapter 10 with you, and then Friday we will pick up where we left off in class for chapter 10. So, oops. Oh, I guess I don't have an agenda today. We'll get right into notes then. So, interpersonal origin story is where we start. First, we talk about emotional intelligence. So, reading people. We observe their nonverbal communication and then we know how to appropriately respond. Basically, emotional intelligence is being able to look at somebody and say, okay, I can tell that they are happy or sad or upset. And that tells you if they're upset, you're going to respond differently than if they are happy. So it's very important to understand emotional intelligence because it does involve a lot of nonverbal communication, and so does interpersonal communication itself. So let's get into what interpersonal communication actually is. First, it is a common dyadic communication process on a continuum that can define, redefine, and redefine the nature of relationships. So basically, what this means is it is two people interacting on a continuum. This continuum basically means that we can go from strangers to acquaintances to best friends to potentially romantic interests to broken up to absolutely nothing again, right? That relationship has changed along the ways because of the interpersonal nature and the communication that's happened inside. Okay, so with interpersonal communication, it is with two people and it will define and redefine the relationship. Moving forward, we talk about dyadic, meaning it takes place between two people, occurring frequently. It is a process. As mentioned with all communication, it is an ongoing process. It's inescapable, it is continuous, it is unrepeatable. We have talked about this already this semester a couple different times, right? If I'm not communicating with you verbally, I'm still non-verbally communicating with you. We can't avoid it. It's always happening, even if we don't talk to people every single day. We can pick back up where we left off, as well as it is unrepeatable. So you can't say things the exact same way I do. It changes. Then we talk about interdependence, and we've talked about this a little bit already, but we will talk about it more throughout the semester. But it just states that we are mutually reliant on each other. What that means is what I do influences you, what you do influences me. So the weather influenced me. I therefore needed to communicate with y'all that I would not be on campus, so you do not have to be in class today. And therefore, that influenced you. You were reliant on that communication to know that we did not have class today. Okay? All right, moving forward, we talk about impersonal communication. Impersonal communication is informal, it's more superficial. There are lots of topics we can cover, right? It's just about achieving a goal. When I was in junior high, high school, living at my mom's house, I would always yell out, like, hey, mom, what's the weather supposed to be like? What's it like now? What's it going to be like at noon? What's it going to be like at 3? Because living in the Midwest, you never know. You got to have all sorts of clothes for a regular day. But I'm only talking to her to find out what the weather is like. I don't care anything about how her day's going, anything like that. Okay. We talk about indexical communication. So, how we communicate shows our relational climate or emotional temperature. How we communicate tells how we're feeling. Um, if we talk fast, we might be excited. If we are talking slower, or we're more reserved, or maybe we even don't talk as much, that might show that you're not in a good mood. We have a couple different relational climates that we talk about. The first is a confirming relational climate. So we feel supported and valued. The emotions that I'm putting out there, the communication that I have had, everybody feels as though it is appropriate and effective, and therefore it's confirmed. Okay. On the opposite side, we have disconfirming, which is the climate where we feel devalued, criticized, devalued, criticized, demeaned. So I say anything and somebody meets me with criticism. That's going to be a disconfirming climate because it doesn't matter what I say, I am criticized or demeaned. Within interpersonal communication, we talk about relational trust, power, and intimacy as well. Relational trust is how much do you feel like you can depend on the other person within that relationship? And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be how much trust you have in your best friend that you can tell them a secret and they're not going to go tell. Okay. How much can you depend on or rely on one another? Power is how much influence do you have to make the decisions? How many of the resources do you have versus the other? And how much power do you have? Power is a zero-sum game, so you can only have 100% of power at most. So if they have 50% of the power, you can't have any more than 50, right? So how much do you influence the relationship versus the other? Relational intimacy. This is all about the connection and acceptance and disclosures. So we communicate on multiple different levels. We talk about our emotions. We talk about physical things in the world around us, physically how we're feeling. We talk about intellectual levels, spiritual levels, our experiences. And so the intimacy, the relational intimacy is all about how much of a connection do we feel like we have with that other? Okay. All right. Moving forward, we're going to talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You have probably seen this in any intro level psychology class, any intro level communication class, I'm sure as well. So, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is just basic representations of individual needs, and it's in that pyramid where the bottom is the most basic level, and then it gets more intricate as we rise. So, the basic needs, these are sustenance for our bodies, food, water, medicine, things to keep us alive, keep our bodies alive. Not necessarily protecting us in any way, but we need food, water, and medicine at the very most basic needs. Moving forward, we have our safety needs. So this is the need that we have to make sure that we don't die. So that is having shelter, having security, having protection, right? Think about why you lock your car or why you might lock your dorm room or your apartment or whatever, right? Maryville's a very safe place. However, we have that level of I need to feel protected, and therefore we lock our stuff. Okay. Love and belongingness needs, we have this desire to feel like we are a part of something bigger than us and that somebody actually cares about us, right? So it doesn't matter if we feel like we only need one or two close friends. We need some sort of, excuse me, sorry, we need some sort of a larger unit that we feel like we are a part of, right? Friends, family, colleagues, acquaintances, something. Self-esteem needs. We grow and develop our own identities to understand who we are. Self-esteem needs come from other people, however. So it is recognition from your work, your what you're doing physically at your job. It could be recognition in a relationship. It could be you look great today. It could be anything, but it comes from other people. And that helps us develop this sense of who we are, who we want to be. Okay. Self-actualization needs is this desire to have control and empowerment in your own life. So self-actualization is the self-esteem needs, but it comes from yourself. So it is recognizing your own good work. I have control in this. I did good work because I did that, right? Having empowerment, recognizing your accomplishments, telling yourself that you're amazing. Okay. All right. I'm going to get through one or two of these and then actually I might get through all of these and then stop after Schutz's theory. So Schutz's theory of interpersonal needs, they call it the Firo scale. You don't need to know the Firo scale, but basically, or that name of it, It is Schutz's theory of interpersonal needs, which basically explains how we as individuals vary on these three main needs that every single person has. So we have affection. This is our desire to be liked, loved, appreciated. Every person has some level of affection that they need. They need to give off and they need to receive. So if you are an underpersonal, you limit your social interactions. You don't need that approval, right? You have your small, close groups and you might even limit how many times you interact with each other. It might not be an all the time thing, okay? Overpersonal is this strong desire to be liked and to constantly seek attention. So, I'm very overpersonal. I have a strong desire to be liked. I like feeling like people like me. I like being the center of attention. That's why I am kind of in the perfect career choice for me, right? I'm very overpersonal. I'm a golden retriever. I like to be liked. But this doesn't mean that everybody's going to be like me. And then personal, this is that balance between under and over, where you might be more like a chameleon where you can shift it. Okay. Inclusion, this is the need to belong. So, not feeling liked or loved, not feeling like people appreciate you, but this is to be invited to the interaction, to be a part of the group. So, under socials, you're seeking fewer interactions and do prefer the smaller groups because you don't have a high need to belong. You don't need to be invited to every single thing. You don't need to have big groups of people around you. Okay. Over social is craving that spotlight, seeking the group belonging. I am also a very over social person, meaning I need to be invited. If my friends are talking about something, especially if they're talking about it in front of me, if you don't invite me, I am very hurt. So, what I mean by that is, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going. I'm just saying if you don't invite me, I'm going to be upset, right? Over social, crave the spotlight, seek that group belonging. Social is that healthy balance between the two. The final of the three is the control group. So it's to influence people and events. So with control, it's not just I want to influence other people. It could just be I want to control myself. So we have autocrat. These are individuals who have a high desire to control others, and they like to be in control of their own situations. So autocrats, they are the people that typically run everything. They're the ones that have a plan, can execute the plan, want to execute the plan, and want to have all of the control. They don't like delegating necessarily. Okay. Abdocrat, they shift the control burden from themselves to the others. So they might still want control of themselves. They may not. It doesn't necessarily mean like they will. But they don't want necessarily any control. So it could be you can even tell me what to do, and that's fine. Or it could be you can tell others what to do. I'll do my stuff. But beyond that, don't, right? And then Democrat. This is that balance need between individual and group and control, right? Um, I say I fall more Democrat because I do not want anybody to tell me what I will and will not be doing. Now, if there's a job you need me to do and you need to tell me what I should be doing, totally fine. I don't mind sharing control. I also don't mind taking control if I need to. It's just not my go-to, right? So these needs influence how we communicate with other people. And each one of you have some of these needs. Let's see. So here's just a chart of the need, what do we want from others, and then how we express that to others. Yep. All right. So that is where I'm going to stop today. We will pick up with relational dialectics theory on Friday. Please read chapter 10 if you have not, and I will see you on Friday. Have a wonderful day off. I'm going to stop sharing that and then stop recording. All right. Have a great day. Bye.